Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Amit Patil and you're watching Amit Patil JEE and NEET. Welcome to the channel everyone. आज कुछ हम लोग नया ट्राई कर रहे हैं. क्या ट्राई करें? पॉडकास्ट. पॉडकास्ट तो आपने देखा रहेगा, चेतन भगत के चैनल पे भी वैसे टाइप के वीडियोस है. वैसा कुछ मैं ट्राई कर रहा हूँ. एंड जो पहले गेस्ट है, शी इज वेरी स्पेशल टू मी. द रीजन है शी हैज बीन माय साइंस टीचर इन 10th स्टैंडर्ड, वाइस प्रिंसिपल ऑफ माय स्कूल विवेक विद्यालय, एंड now she has her own consulting and counseling firm, Management Me. So जहाँ पे ये स्टूडेंट्स को करियर गाइडेंस वगैरह प्रोवाइड करते हैं, ट्रेनिंग प्रोवाइड करते हैं, नॉट ओनली स्टूडेंट्स बट ऑल्सो वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स ऑल्सो. सो लेट्स वेलकम मिस बीजी तुषार. हेलो मैम, वेलकम टू द चैनल.
Thank you. It's a privilege and pride to be interviewed by your own student. Thank you so much.
वेलकम मैम. सो ये सेशन हमने क्यों रखा है, पहले जरा क्लियर कर देता हूँ सबको, जो लोग देख रहे हैं, जिन्होंने थंबनेल देख के क्लिक किया. तो द रीजन है कि बोर्ड की एग्जाम्स 2 साल बाद हो रही है, ऑलमोस्ट 2 साल बाद. एंड ऑनलाइन क्लास में आपको पता है हम स्टूडेंट्स कितने सिंसियर होते हैं. लॉग इन करते हैं, म्यूट पे डाल देते हैं, वेब कैम बंद करते हैं और सो जाते हैं, या फिर कुछ और मोबाइल चलते रहता है साइड बाय साइड. So there are a lot of distractions through which students have gone through in last 2 years. Educational loss कितना ये हम काउंट ही नहीं कर सकते. There is no way to measure such educational loss what students have faced, because आज मैं पढ़ाता हूँ 11th के बच्चों को, 12th के बच्चों को. Sometimes they mess up in basics of 8th and 9th also, जो मैथ्स का बेसिक्स है, because distraction पूरा 2 साल distraction वाला रहा है. So इस बारे में अगर हमें बात करनी है और गाइडेंस लेनी है, मेरे कांटेक्ट में जो द बेस्ट पर्सन इज बीजी मिस. तो आई टॉक विद हर एंड वी अरेंज्ड इट. सो मैम, टू स्टार्ट विद, आपको भी पता है आज से बोर्ड स्टार्ट हो गई है. टुडे वाज 12th HSC बोर्ड्स एग्जाम एंड इवेंचुअली CBSE ICSE विल आल्सो फॉलो. अभी उनके भी बोर्ड एग्जाम्स होंगे इन कमिंग डेज. सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक, हाउ शुड स्टूडेंट्स कीप अ पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड टुवर्ड्स दिस? बिकॉज बहुत स्टूडेंट्स का कंप्लेन ये था, प्रोटेस्ट भी हुआ था, इफ यू नो, फरवरी में स्टार्टिंग में प्रोटेस्ट शुरू हो गए थे कि एग्जाम मत लो, ऐसा सब ड्यू टू कोविड. एंड माय रिस्पांस टू स्टूडेंट्स वाज कि आप रेस्टोरेंट में जाके खा रहे हो, सब कर रहे हो, वेडिंग में जा रहे हो, दैट इज फाइन, बट फॉर एग्जाम्स you are scared of COVID.
Yeah,
so that's an excuse.
Scared of COVID. That's a double standard, na?
Double standard, right? So what's your take?
Yeah, so I feel like today only I got a call from a parent, very distraught and saying that मैम 2 साल से लॉकडाउन है, मेरे बच्चे को इंग्लिश ठीक से नहीं आता है, उसकी पर्सनालिटी थोड़ा डेवलप करना है, तो she wanted to enroll for the personality development course. So I was just thinking that the world at large is facing this kind of a crisis where बच्चे सो के लेक्चर अटेंड कर रहे हैं. So just now also I'd gone to my neighbor just to talk to her, and she said, I asked her, how is it कि कॉलेज आप जा रहे हो तो कैसा लग रहा है? मैम अच्छा तो लग रहा है पर इतना बैठने को नहीं होता. So obviously ये सब जो ना आप कंफर्ट जोन में आए हो उसमें से बाहर निकलना ही पड़ेगा, because come what may 2-3 years down the line you will have to choose your own career and आपको अपने पैरों पे खड़ा रहना है. So the first thing is take a decision to face the change that has happened. एक बार आप डिसाइड करो, उसके बाद में आपको एक्शन लेना है. Now एक्शन लेने के लिए जो माइंडसेट है ना, माइंड को थोड़ा मनवाना पड़ता है. तो आप उसको मनवाओ और आपको उसके साथ दोस्ती करनी है कि नहीं, so many years I was at home not able to meet my friends. ये बहुत मजा आएगा कम से कम बैठ के वो पेपर पे लिखने के लिए जो इंक पेन लेते, अलग अलग पेन चूज करते, ये छोटी छोटी कितनी सारी खुशियां मिलती है हमको. So you have to actually keep your mindset open and look into what are the small positive things that are there which you can do by giving an offline examination. So अपने दिमाग को तैयार करना बहुत जरूरी है, because if you have to become somebody in future you definitely have to have a goal and a path. और उस समय इससे भी ज्यादा मुश्किलें आएंगे. तो अगर आप इसको एक छोटा सा माइलस्टोन समझ के आपकी पर्सपेक्टिव एग्जामिनेशन की तरफ चेंज कर दोगे. So in NLP we have a concept called as reframing. So if you reframe the situation towards the positives, then it won't be so difficult. इतना मुश्किल नहीं है. आपने इतने साल स्कूल में एग्जाम दिए हैं और आप पास हुए हैं, तो अभी भी आप होंगे. It's just a matter of shifting your mindset to adopting the new normal that has come to you. तो छोटी छोटी बातें जिसमें आपको मजा आती है, वो नया पेन खरीदना, सबका आशीर्वाद मिलना, और जाने से पहले मम्मी दही और शक्कर देती है. सो ये सब चीजों को थोड़ा याद करके आपको डिसाइड करना है, फर्म रहना है कि आई एम गोइंग टू गिव इट माय बेस्ट. जैसे अगर आप फिल्म में आपको एक कैरेक्टर दिया गया और आपको हीरो बनना है, तो आपको तो वो कैरेक्टर प्ले करना ही पड़ेगा ना. तो वो कैरेक्टर में जितने भी शेड्स है, उस शेड्स को आपको निभाना है. सो इमेजिन दैट यू आर दैट हीरो who's facing the challenge and going to really rock the world. So एक mindset इस तरह से आपको prepare करना है. और फिर you have to be a little disciplined in taking up each subject and enjoying the subject and looking at it as a stepping stone towards your success. So if you can prepare your mind and decide that this is something that's a challenge, go for it.
Very true, ma'am. Ma'am, talking about discipline, last point आपने discipline के बारे में बोला. So yeah, discipline is also something which students have to include now in their daily life. Because पहले कैसे होता था, सुबह उठ गए, उनके classes है, and you are lying in the bed itself. For that class also you are lying in bed or on sofa and you are attending them with a blanket around you. That's it.
Right.
And then फिर आफ्टरनून में नहाया तो नहाया, नहीं तो खाना खा लिया ब्रश करके, एंड देन आफ्टरनून में क्लासेस होते थे, कोचिंग क्लासेस जो हमारे होते हैं. होमवर्क तो रहने ही दो, सर बोलते हैं करने, आधे स्टूडेंट्स तो करते भी नहीं थे. नाउ दे आर फेसिंग द प्रेशर. सो इवन दो स्टूडेंट्स वर एक्सपेक्टिंग कि जब मैंने कहा था प्रोटेस्ट हो रहा था फरवरी में, बहुत स्टूडेंट्स एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे थे कि सर कैंसिल हो जाएगा. इनफैक्ट मेरे भी जो थोड़े बहुत स्टूडेंट्स है, दे यूज्ड टू कॉल मी एंड से सर कैंसिल हो जाएगा, देख लो हो जाएगा. लास्ट ईयर भी हुआ था. मैंने बोला नहीं, ये साल.
But Bhavan's call, my son is in Bhavan's college, और आज ही उसको मैसेज मिला कि एग्जाम्स आर गोइंग टू बी ऑन ऑफलाइन.
ऑफलाइन, यस.
He was dancing. Sorry, no, not offline, online.
Online, okay.
He was dancing up and down because few days back when I was saying writing का थोड़ा practice करो, आपने तो MCQ ही किया है, तो अभी at least practice करना शुरू करो. And then he said, Mama, as I wanted, it has happened. So it is going to be online only.
Online only, MCQ.
So I think some colleges are still giving that option.
He's in 11th or 12th?
He is in SY BCom.
अच्छा, okay, SY BCom.
Sorry, BMS.
नहीं, आई थिंक डिग्री कॉलेज वालों का अभी ऑनलाइन ही हो रहा है, बिकॉज 11th का भी ऑनलाइन लेंगे. ऑल अदर सेक्शंस दे आर टेकिंग ऑनलाइन. दे आर ओनली गोइंग ऑफलाइन विद 10th and 12th because board exam. Other sections they are having online. So yes, ma'am, coming to that question, discipline and this pressure, because ये last moment pressure है. I'll say 80% students who were in support of the protest की cancel करो, ये वही students थे जिन्होंने साल भर पढ़ा नहीं है. Because I know there are few students who have sincerely studied entire year and they want to perform in the paper.
Correct.
Yes. So discipline and managing this pressure, what would you like to suggest students how to manage this last moment pressure?
देखो, last moment pressure स्वाभाविक है because it is going to come. You're doing something different after a long time. Okay, you must have done it earlier. तो ये pressure है. So first thing is accept the pressure. Okay, I am feeling pressurized. Accept the pressure. And then you have to decide that you visualize your success. See, make it till you fake it. अगर अंदर गुड हो रहा है ना, फिर भी you have to show a brave front, right? So you have to visualize your success. Okay, I went to the examination hall with my right foot in, and I felt really good. I took a deep breath, went and sat in my place, got the paper. It wasn't all that bad that I expected. हाँ, मुझे ये भी आ रहा है, मुझे ये भी आ रहा है, मुझे ये भी आ रहा है. And I'm really enjoying writing after a long time. So what is this is you are actually creating a visual for your subconscious mind to say that everything is fine. And whatever visual you give your mind, that is what is going to be created in future. So you have to have this feeling. देखो, आपको face करना है, right, इस चीज को. So आपको ये visual create करना है. So visualization really helps. Okay, and the thing is, you have to be focused on wanting to get a particular percentage. So when you have that number keeping on coming in your mind, like I remember I used to tell all my students in my 10th standard and 12th standard to write down the percentage that you get. And I think when we did the myself sessions in 10th standard, I think you
Yes,
also were there, and you wrote that exact percentage, and kept seeing it every now and then. So you
right.
paste it in a place where you can see it every time, and that is like a trigger to your subconscious mind to make you reach to that position. I remember my first workshop student, Aishwarya Raghuvanshi. She had written 89 percentage, and she had stuck it in her cupboard, and every time she would see it in the month of June, she comes back with the paper saying that मैम देखो मैंने ये लिखा वही मेरे आज मार्कशीट में है, मैंने क्यों 90 नहीं लिखा. So visualization is one thing. The second thing is writing your target percentage and putting it in a place where you can see it. The third thing is doing a little bit of what you say left nostril breathing. That is, you close your right nostril and breathe from your left nostril. So it helps you to release the anxiety. Like this. So what happens that moment में जो anxiety आता है ना, उसको वो release करता है. Then next, fourth one, you can use affirmations. Affirmations like I write my paper calmly and in a confident manner. I write my paper calmly and in a confident manner. So these affirmations you can do in the night before you go to sleep, and in the morning as soon as you get up, and even on your way to the college or school, you can keep on saying it, because affirmations really work. It is through affirmations that I have removed my specs. You remember I used to have specs before.
I remember. Now I have got.
So for 30 years, I'll tell you something that you can do to remove your specs.
Yes.
You have to take your spit,
Okay.
and put it into your eyes before you brush your teeth.
Okay.
And after you brush your teeth, clean it.
Okay.
And then you do eye exercises where you look up, side, down, side, clockwise, anti-clockwise. Okay. And then you have to eat carrots, you have to eat spinach, you have to eat, what else is there? Coriander. These are the things that I eat.
Okay.
And you have to affirm that I have a good eyesight and vision. So all these things help me to be without specs. My number was 3.75, minus 3.75 in both the eyes, spherical as well as cylindrical.
That's pretty high diopter.
So now I can see even small print without my specs. It's almost been, I think, 6 or 7 years that I've left away my specs. That's another story that we'll do in another podcast.
No, but this is also important, in fact, because 2 साल से हम teachers और students laptop का screen, mobile का screen ही देख रहे हैं. Everyone is suffering through this. So this is really a good point.
The screen fatigue.
Yeah, screen
yeah,
fatigue.
The screen fatigue is too much. Yes, and one more thing that you can do is you can, look out. मतलब हम क्या करते हैं, मोबाइल इतना होता है, इतना सा स्क्रीन रहता है, 6 इंच का स्क्रीन. ओके, ये 6 इंच में अपनी पूरी आई का जो विजन है इसी में कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड होता है. सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज इट मेक्स द आईबॉल ऑल द मोर रिजिड. Okay, so one of the exercises that you can do is go out in the look out of your window in the morning at all the greenery, and जितना तुम span कर सकते हो ना, जितने चीजों को तुम देख सकते हो ना, उतना देखना. And blinking of your eyes. This will help your eye muscles to be flexible.
Got it. So yes, students जिनको नया चश्मा लगा है,
आप ये कर लो.
Take some notes.
Yes.
So ma'am, coming to the topic of mobile के बारे में हम बात ही कर रहे थे. So I just checked few days back that how much time basically I spend on my cell phone just browsing through social media. अभी तो सब निकाल ही दिया, uninstall कर दिया सब. उस दिन देखिए unconsciously just कभी मतलब फोन ओपन कर लिया, नोटिफिकेशन देखा, कुछ देखा, unconsciously I was spending 3 to 4 hours every day on my.
बहुत कम है.
बहुत कम है. I was shocked. I showed it at my home. मम्मी देखो, तो मम्मी ने वही चिल्लाया, तू यही कर, MBA होएगा नहीं तेरा.
हाँ, सही बात है.
Yes. तो मेरा तो इतना है. अभी एक स्टूडेंट का सिनारियो बताता हूँ. रिसेंट सिनारियो है, लास्ट वीक का. मैंने कुछ होमवर्क दिया था. So that student had some other classes also, everything. टाइम था उसको in between classes to do that, but he did not do it. He said कि मैं सर मैं रात को 11 बजे बैठा था पढ़ने. मैंने बोला ठीक है. कितने बजे खत्म किया? सर I finished at 5:30 in the morning. मैंने बोला ऐसा कुछ चीज नहीं दिया था मैंने तुझे that you have to study for 6.5 hours. Exactly 6.5 hours. That's too much. I asked other students how much time like did you take for this particular assignment. They said 1 hour or 2 hours, maximum 2 hours. मैंने बोला ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? तो सिंपल आंसर है. मैंने उसको है ना साइकिल चलाते हुए भी देखा. साइकिल चलाते वक्त वो फोन निकाल लेता है. In one hand there is a phone.
I know.
And with another hand he is balancing his cycle and. तो मैम सोशल मीडिया इज अ बिग प्रॉब्लम टुडे एंड आई थिंक उससे ना क्वालिटी भी डिग्रेड हुआ है. आपको क्या लगता है?
डेफिनेटली क्वालिटी डिग्रेड हुआ है. एंड द थिंग इज लाइक जो सोशल मीडिया में आ रहा है ना वो इतना कैप्टिवेटिंग है कि इवन बड़े लोग ना वो एक रील देखते हैं उसके बाद में दूसरा तीसरा चौथा लाइक you can't stop yourself. So now what has happened is parents have to compete with the screen. Spouses have to compete with the screen and the content that is being given there. So we have to become much more than what is being provided there. इतना alluring और इतना captivating हमको बनना पड़ता है. So वो एक बड़ा challenge हो गया है. But one of the simple techniques, like there are apps, I think Android में भी है और iPhones में भी है जहाँ पे आपका screen time आप measure कर सकते हैं और आप लॉक भी कर सकते हैं कि ये पर्टिकुलर टाइम के बाद वो अपने आप स्विच ऑफ होगा. सो दीज काइंड ऑफ गैजेट्स आर देयर. बट बिफोर यू डू एनीथिंग, बिफोर यू टेक एनी स्टेप्स to keep yourself away from social media, you have to first take a decision. Once you decide in your mind that you're not going to touch it, you will come up with a lot of solutions. So when I was discussing this in my personality development class, one of my students, Atharva Ratnaparki, he said, ma'am, मैं तो अभी use ही नहीं करेगा and I am going to do something. So what did he do? He kept the phone in a very above the cupboard. Cupboard के ऊपर उसने रख दिया और on करके रख दिया. So he's saying whenever the phone used to ring, that time only I would go and take. And in my status, I had written only available between 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Only 1 hour, okay. So, only 1 hour. So everybody who wants to text him or talk to him will definitely connect to him only during that time. So much so that मुझे उसको क्लास के बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन देना था, मैंने व्हाट्सएप मैसेज भेजा, उसको समझ में ही नहीं आया. I mean उसने खोला ही नहीं, तो फिर मुझे फोन करना पड़ा. So that was an idea that worked. Another thing is keep your phone in the cupboard and lock it and give the keys to your mom or your dad. Right. So and take it only. जितना दूर आप रखोगे ना जो चीज से आपको एडिक्शन है, उतना आप उनसे दूर रह सकेंगे. बट ये डिसीजन लेने के बाद ही होगा. Very true. So first is to decide, and then if you will see the losses, like you said ना, कोई मॉनिटर नहीं करता है. मैं सोशल मीडिया में थी तो मेरे कितना काम रह गया, कोई ऐसा मॉनिटर नहीं करता है. Right. The losses of using social media. Correct. Okay, so you need to measure it. Today I spent this much time because of which I could do so many things or could not do so many things. So if you make a study of it, then definitely you will realize to what extent you are getting losses because of being on the screen. Correct. Now if you are into business like me, I have to be on social media because my networking, my posting, everything has to be done. Still one day I just decided that I'm not going to use my phone at all, and say for half of the day I got so many things done, and I saw that all my pending work got over just because I did not touch the phone. Got it. या तो फिर और एक टेक्निक है, अगर फोन डिस्चार्ज हुआ तो उसको चार्ज मत करो. So you have an excuse. और हम by nature lazy है, अरे वो कौन प्लग में लगाएगा. Yes. So ऐसा भी कर सकते हैं, ये छोटी छोटी बातें हैं, but everything has to begin with a decision and a firm decision that I need to complete this much, so I am not going to touch the phone till then, फिर कुछ भी होने दे. So a firm decision is the beginning of completing a particular action. So decide and act.
Right, true. अच्छा मैम, एक ओपिनियन लूंगा आपका इस पे. व्हाट आई थिंक इज, एक्चुअली जब मैं IIT JEE के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहा था, व्हेन आई वाज प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर IIT JEE, it was around 2014-15. So that time, one of our professor, he was from Hyderabad, and he recently got shifted to Mumbai to teach at our branch, everything. So he said one thing, कि मुंबई के students बहुत sharp है, बहुत sharp है. The only thing is they're distracted.
Correct. Very
He said
distracted.
so he was someone who has taught at everywhere, Delhi, Chennai, Bangalore, everywhere for IIT JEE coaching. And he used to come at our place for particular topic of chemistry only. So at the end of the session course, he said, I have seen the smartest students in Mumbai, but the problem is you people are very much distracted. वो जरा sort out कर लोगे ना, you can score or do really well in life. And I feel that today. Yes.
मुझे ये देखो, कोई ये डिस्ट्रैक्शन के पीछे का रीजन क्या है ना, कोई ढूंढ नहीं रहा है.
Right.
Why are children and adults both distracted today? Because see, we as human beings are people who need connection and love. जो वो connection अभी मिल नहीं रहा है. In a text where you say that I really care for you, you can feel that care, right? So wo connection nahi raha hai, and there are many psychological issues where there are dysfunctional families. Abhi aap dekhenge to sabhi families dysfunctional ho rahe hain. There are issues that are happening and that is affecting the mental health. तो वो फेस नहीं करना है हमको, ठीक है? उसको रिजॉल्व नहीं करना, या रिजॉल्व करने का क्या मेथड है ये पता नहीं है. तो हम क्या करते हैं, वी फाइंड अ सोर्स व्हिच विल कीप ऑल दोस थॉट्स अवे, एंड द बेस्ट सोर्स इज द फोन, बिकॉज फोन में हमको वो दिखता है जो हमको नहीं मिलता है.
Correct.
Right? So it satisfies your need for love and connection.
Very true.
For recognition. For achievement.
Yes.
Right? ये छोटी सी बात है, पर अगर हम इसके ऊपर काम करें ना तो बहुत फर्क पड़ेगा. And I have seen so many children who have come to me, for the various courses. Like they are ready to keep their phone aside because they have found the joy of, knowing themselves and connecting to things that make them come alive.
Right.
So most of the children who have come to me are single children, and then हमारा जब group sessions होते हैं ना, उनको वो love and connection वहां पे मिलता है, and they feel, अरे this is better than having fake friendships on the phone or the social media.
Right.
So ये real, to get real, you need to make people be aware that there are needs which needs to be fulfilled.
Right.
And that is through love and connection as human beings, because we are a very feeling animals. We are feeling animals.
Very true.
Yeah.
Ma'am, coming to mental health as well, 2 years of COVID, and people have lost many things. I mean, I have seen families losing the earning member, and it has been really difficult for many families to come above it. अभी भी बहुत parents, बहुत children, बहुत students अभी भी depression में उसको लेके, and that is something they need to come out of quickly, because there is life ahead, of course. So very what would you like to
Yeah. Yes, so I would like to say that it's actually a very sad state. I had a young girl of 26 years old. She would come to me, and she's going through a lot of pain, anxiety and depression, but her parents don't know about it. Why? She's always smiling and she's always happy and she's always vibrant. So she just asked her mother one day, "Ki Mama, do you think I'm sad?" She said, "No, you're not really enjoying yourself every time." She said, "Yeah." And she comes and tells me stories of pain, of neglect, of sibling rivalry. And she says, why did they do this to me? And at the same time, she, forgives them also for what happened. But isn't it strange that even the parents are not able to make out, because she's able to fake it?
Right.
So today, if you go to see, people are faking, and putting masks without showing their real self. There might be so many things going on in the back of the head, but they show that everything is fine, everything is normal, and then it just blows up. Like how she just admitted to me yesterday that she feels like committing suicide.
Oh my God.
And this is not the first time. Secondly, everybody, many of them, if you just ask, my family, this one expired, my family, that one expired. So people are dying at a very fast rate now. So the panic of death, the feeling of loss, the anxiety that people are feeling collectively is affecting everyone. So even if nothing has happened to your family, it is in the air, and these thoughts get transferred, and we pick up those energies, and you don't know for what reason. I'm just feeling anxious is what the child is saying. There is no valid reason for the child to feel like that. So what happens is, when we are very sensitive, we tend to pick up the energies of others. So that panic and that anxiety feeling is a common feeling for many people today. So this is an issue, and there are many people who are coming like saying that I've lost my confidence because of all this. Secondly, the what we call as PTSD, that is post-traumatic stress disorder. We think that if we have lost a loved one, with time it will heal all wounds, but time doesn't heal all wounds. It's just like saying, you have pushed the dirt under the carpet. The dirt still exists. And nobody thinks that it is important to give counseling to the family. And then it remains and it remains and it remains. There is no closure given. There is no grieving done, because you're supposed to be strong. रो मत. You're not supposed to be crying. Strong बनना है. Family को देखना है. अगर आप ही control lose कर दिया तो बच्चे क्या करेंगे? It also
comes a lot from the kind of family pressure we have in our Indian societies.
Yes. मर्द को दर्द नहीं होता.
Exactly.
पर दर्द होता है, और उसको acknowledge करके उस emotions को निकाल देना. Speak to somebody, go to a therapist, allow yourself to be free of those negative emotions. It will not allow you to go further. So ये जरूरी हो जाता है कि आप अपने जो feelings है, अगर आप बोल नहीं सकते तो कम से कम लिख लो कहाँ पे, but you have to deal with it. You have to deal with it. You can't push it, because what will happen is, if you keep on pushing it under the carpet, it is going to grow and become toxic, and that is going to create some pain or some disease, and then you have to go for a higher problem. So understand that PTSD, that is post-traumatic stress disorder, is very, very real, and it exists. So it has to be dealt with. Many people say, I've forgotten, हो गया, खत्म हो गया. But वो कभी खत्म नहीं होता जब तक आप उसे खत्म नहीं करोगे.
Right.
So an awareness and the necessary steps for it.
Right.
There are counselors, there are mental health workers, there are social workers. It's just a matter of dealing with. See, अगर आपको physical pain है, अगर कुछ हुआ है, कट हुआ है, तो आप जाते हो ना डॉक्टर के पास.
Correct.
तो ये mental injuries को भी deal करना जरूरी है. They are also equally important.
Right. No, I've seen.
I remember one. Yeah.
Yes,
I remember one patient of mine. She's suffering from OCD. So I was treating her, and after some time she became okay. So I told her, why don't you give me a video and let us share this so that other people who are suffering can come out of it.
Right.
Generally OCD, almost we say like 20 to 30% कभी cure नहीं हो सकते. 60% थोड़ा बहुत manage कर सकते हैं. and 10% is like succumb to it. Okay, तो इस तरह का होता है statistics, and this is such a, what you say, strenuous and such a difficult thing for the person who is going through and for the family in which that person is.
Right.
Because it's like a total mess, and the person wants to come out of the compulsive behavior but cannot come out.
Right.
So that frustration is so much. So I told her कि why don't you give a video testimonial? She said नहीं सबको मालूम पड़ जाएगा और मैं नहीं चाहता किसी को पता चले. So it's like a shame if you're suffering from a mental disorder. आपको कट हो गया, ठीक है, बैंडेज लगा सकते हो.
Right.
पर आपको दिल में दर्द हो रहा है, दिमाग में दर्द हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, तो आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते हो.
True. मैम OCD I think वही है ना मैम, अगर टेबल पे चीजें messed up है, then you try to clean it up and get it organized.
You have to keep, ऐसा रखा है ना, इसको ऐसे ही होना चाहिए.
Right.
और the need to keep on cleaning. OCD अलग अलग टाइप का होता है.
Actually
overthinking का भी होता है.
Overthinking का भी होता है. Okay.
Overthinking का भी होता है. Constantly the same thoughts keep repeating again and again, and when it happens and the pain that you go through, you get comfortable with it, so you need it again and again.
Got it.
So it's like a loop.
Got it. No, actually one of my ex bosses, I would say, when I was doing internship, I think he had this thing, because whenever I used to sit for some discussion on his table, I used to keep pen anyhow, and he used to come and make it straight.
See, there is one thing called as perfection and one called as OCD.
OCD, both are different.
So if it is, both are different. If it is his need for perfection or it is, we don't know.
We don't know actually. So I asked him whether you have OCD. He just gave me a look. He didn't say anything. Okay. I was like, fine. And I used to purposely keep the pen tilted, you know. थोड़ा मस्ती करता था उस बात का.
Okay.
So this was the thing. So ma'am, coming to the topic of family pressures in India, अभी जैसे 90+ आएगा बच्चों का 10th में, पेरेंट्स थिंक कि मेरा बेटा तो, मेरी बेटी तो एकदम सुपर्ब, ये अभी IIT नहीं बनेगा, ये अभी एम्स में ही जाएगा मेडिकल के लिए, सीधा साइंस, without even thinking what kids want to do these days. I'll give you a simple example. My sister got 89% in 10th. एग्जाम नहीं दिया था, वो कैलकुलेट करके मिला था because of COVID last year only.
अच्छा.
So her answer was very simple. आर्ट्स लेना नहीं है, I'll take commerce. And science क्यों नहीं लेना है? Because मैंने ले लिया था, वो देख लिया ना मुझे पढ़ते हुए. So
वो प्रेशर नहीं चाहिए.
प्रेशर नहीं चाहिए पढ़ने का. So we are like okay. Then commerce में क्या क्या फील्ड है? One day, and वो कैसी है, उसको मैं प्रेशराइज कर ही नहीं सकता. वो मुझसे खुद से पूछती है, तभी मैं बताऊंगा तो सुनेगी, ऐसा है.
अच्छा.
So one day after all this discussion कि ठीक है commerce लेना है, she sat with me for like 2 hours and we just googled out what all you can do. So मैंने बोला अगर stable career जो standard चलता है वो CA करते हैं लोग, otherwise BCom and then MBA, this is what goes. What do you want to do? So still she has not figured out, but it's fine. But mostly I think she'll go into VFX or animation.
We do have assessments, you know. We do have assessments. It's called as psychometric assessments, BAT5. So in this, what we do is we find out what is your personality style, your communication style, your learning style, your learning type, and your multiple intelligence. And then we find out the scores that you have in that, and depending upon which are your natural strengths, we give you recommendations onto which field will be best suitable for you. See, एक होता है कि जो एकदम what do you say intelligent होता है, वो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं अगर ठान लिया तो.
Right.
ठीक है. पर दूसरी बात ये है कि are you going to love doing what you're doing? Like for example, I took science because सब लोग साइंस लेते थे, तभी ये कुछ था नहीं, सब लोग साइंस लेते थे, तो I took science.
Right.
And physics लिया because it's only great people, genius people who take physics.
Yeah.
Physics लिया came to come into that category, you know, of geniuses.
Understood.
But derivation or integration तू अभी बोलेगा ना, मैं डर के भाग जाऊंगी.
I know.
So how I completed my 12th standard and how I did my BSc in physics and got a first class, only I know. but then I realized that I want to do something more. तो MSc नहीं कर सकते थे, इसलिए मैंने arts ये क्या बोलते हैं MA in English किया. And then I realized that I loved language. I really got so interested into it that I had to give a change of a stream exam, and in that I stood first. So ये पता चला कि मेरा natural interest जो है एक psychology student का है.
Got it.
But because मैं reasonably intelligent थी, BSc में first class लेके आई.
Understood. So,
but now I'm doing what I really love.
Right. True.
And that is the basis of psychology.
Very true.
तो इतने साल के बाद मुझे realization हुआ. तो आपके sister को बोलो इतना साल wait मत करो.
नहीं, she won't. She'll get into VFX or animation, I think, because वो थोड़ा डैडी का क्रिएटिव पार्ट उसको मिल गया है जेनेटिकली.
अच्छा.
Yeah, she has some traits of father in that sense.
Good.
मुझे नहीं मिला क्रिएटिव कुछ.
No, but problem solving is also creative, na?
Yes, that is also right. So, ma'am, talking about this entire career and goal setting part. So, जैसे मैंने कहा 10th में बहुत अच्छे स्कोर आ जाते, parents get overconfident with kids. And in first place ना many parents don't know कि बच्चा क्या पढ़ने वाला है 11th 12th में. They are into a rat race in short. Because I'll tell you what happens. तो ये process कैसे शुरू होता है? जैसे बच्चे का 10th हो गया, marks आ गए. 1 month before boards, there are advertisements in papers of big brands. I won't, of course, take the name of the brands. I don't want to get into trouble. So अब समझ जाओ big brands मतलब क्या है? IIT JEE के जो भी दिग्गज लोग हैं उनके. So what they do is they put advertisements and everything, attract for scholarship test. Scholarship नहीं होता, it is just a way of discount के लिए. Discount भी कब दिया जाता है? अगर बच्चा बहुत अच्छा है तो ज्यादा discount, because the better you score in the test, the more chances of getting a rank. ऐसा. Now all this happens. Parents को assurance दिया जाता है कि सर आप 2 साल भेजिए यहाँ पे, and आपका बेटा कर लेगा crack, he'll get into one of the IITs. और मोटिवेशन क्या होता है इसके पीछे का कि पेरेंट्स ने पेपर में पढ़ा है कि गूगल ने 2 करोड़ का पैकेज दिया, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ने 3.5 CR का पैकेज दिया, यूएस इज द मोटिवेशन. तो व्हिच इज एक्चुअली अ रॉन्ग सोर्स ऑफ मोटिवेशन. व्हेनेवर समवन आस्क्स मी कि सर मुझे आईआईटी जेईई के लिए प्रिपेयर करना है, should I do it or not, then I just simply answer, don't do it for package, do it for good infrastructure and good professors and the best research work you can do there.
Correct.
So that should be the motivation, but the motivation is different. It has become like, what is it, stock market, like 16 lakh रुपया फीस भरा 4 साल का 1 करोड़ पैकेज. It is not stock market, right? So at the end parents को ये motivation correct करना चाहिए, I think, कहीं ना कहीं पे. It is not just about how much the student will earn. अभी इसमें फंसता है student.
See, earning is important. One sec. Earning is important. ऐसा नहीं है कि पैकेज important नहीं है.
Right.
पैकेज important है, पर आप जो कर रहे हो क्या आप उसमें कंज्यूम हो सकते हो? Like, can you be consumed by what you're doing? Do you have the passion for it? Is very important. अगर आपको passion है ना तो पैसा तो आएगा ही आएगा. Like you tell me to take sessions, I can take for days together.
Got it.
मेरे को ग्रेव में भी जाने का होगा ना तो उसके पहले मैं बोलेगा भगवान एक सेशन करने दो, उसके बाद जाती हूँ. So if you are consumed by your passion, money is definitely going to follow. So parents have to keep 3 things. Attitude, the second is the attitude, and the third is the interest. अगर ये तीनों चीजों को आप blend करेंगे और आपको एक particular field मिला तो उसमें that child is definitely going to work well. Is definitely going to do well. I remember I did a psychometric assessment for one girl who's an extremely talented singer.
Okay.
And in the test, she wanted to take science and she wanted to do interior designing. But after we took the test, I told her, please don't do science because your logical and mathematical reasoning is not up to the mark. Your 3D imagination is not up to the mark, but you're highly creative and you're right-brained. So you will do well in, and your linguistic ability is also good. So you will do well in languages and psychology. So you take arts and focus on your singing. because her musical ability was very high.
Okay.
So I said, focus on what strengths you have. She said, नहीं मेरे को तो साइंस ही लेने का है, मेरे को इंटीरियर्स करने का है, NID में जाना है. So I told, okay. Then I told the parents, anyways, if she does that, you please appoint an extra coach for her at home for mathematics specifically, because otherwise it will be difficult for her.
Right.
This girl did it. मिठी बाई में लिया. एग्जाम का रिजल्ट आने के 2 दिन पहले मेरे पास आई. मैम आई एम गोइंग टू फेल. मैम आई एम गोइंग टू फेल. फिजिक्स में मैंने कैसे लिखा, क्या लिखा मुझे पता है, मैंने अटेम्प्ट ही नहीं किया है. So I am going to fail. I'm really worried. I don't know what is to be done. Anyways, I pacified her and I told her, please, I know for sure you will pass because you do have reasonable intelligence. उतना तो तू पास हो जाएगी, तू डरो मत. But once you get your results, please don't take science again.
Got a lesson there.
Then she realized her mistake and then she took psychology and now she's pursuing her singing career and she's really doing very well. बहुत अच्छा कर रही है.
So basically a message or a lesson for parents who think कि IIT या एम्स में आप जाओगे साइंस लेके, मेडिकल या इंजीनियरिंग करोगे तो ही कमाओगे, ऐसा नहीं है. So my father says this, अगर तेरे को पैसा कमाना, you can also earn money by selling water. You can earn crores of money by selling water. Just packet it well. Packaging अच्छी रखना बस.
बहुत अच्छा.
So that is the story there. So ma'am, goal setting, करियर के ऊपर आपका क्या गाइडेंस रहेगा? हाउ टू सेट अप स्पेसिफिक करियर हो तो समझ गया, वी कैन डू अ साइकोमेट्रिक टेस्ट और वी कैन जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम कि हमारे लाइक्स एंड डिसलाइक्स क्या है, वेयर वी फील कंफर्टेबल, वेयर वी डोंट. बट व्हाट अबाउट गोल सेटिंग? बिकॉज आज के टाइम क्या हो रहा है, गोल सेट हो रहा है ना, अगेन सोशल मीडिया कम्स हियर एक्चुअली, कि सोशल मीडिया पे आपने कुछ और देख लिया और यू आर गोइंग फॉर दैट नाउ, यू हैव चेंज्ड योर माइंड, अभी ये अच्छा लग रहा है मुझे, लेट्स ट्राई दिस. एक चीज को कोई पकड़ के नहीं रहता है ज्यादा टाइम तक. आई एम सीइंग दिस. सो गोल सेटिंग का
क्यों? गोल सेटिंग चेंज होता है. एक माउंटेन के ऊपर चढ़ा, उसके बाद में उसको दूसरे माउंटेन के ऊपर चढ़ना है और श्योर नहीं है कि उसमें से कौन सा माउंटेन सिलेक्ट करेगा.
करेक्ट.
सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज, सी, वी आर चेंजिंग एवरी डे and the trends in the market is changing, people are changing, exposure is changing, experiences are changing. Right. So you have this scientific assessments which will talk about your traits and it will also talk about your needs and your drives. So once you come to know that, आपको एक alignment तो आ जाएगा कि कौन सा field में जाना है. अभी उस field में जो सब domains है, वो सब domains में आपको कहाँ जाना है, ये find out करने का आपको confusion होता है. So you have to check कि what were the things that you enjoyed doing. At the same time, आपका multiple intelligence कौन सा area में high है. For example, if your logic and mathematical intelligence is very high, your 3D imagination is high and your spatial imagination is high, that is visual imagination is high, then you can definitely go in for engineering. You will be successful there. Now when you come to engineering में computer engineering करना है, EXTC करना है या hardware करना है, that will depend upon your personality style and the kind of person that you are. फिर उसको हम लोग मैच करेंगे और फिर हम देखेंगे. So इसमें क्या मैंने देखा है कि बच्चा खुद जब जानता है कि मेरे में ये possibilities है, but मुझे interest ज्यादा इस चीज में आता है, तो where your interest and your aptitude meet, you have to consider that point. Plus what is your attitude? Attitude मतलब अगर आप engineering करना चाहते हो तो आपका attitude ऐसा होना चाहिए कि fast work and you should be on your feet all the time and you should be ready to give in lot of hours. तो आपका attitude क्या है?
Got it.
If you want to be lazy and you say you want to get into engineering, पढ़ाई नहीं करनी है इतना लंबा hours तक, तो then it is meaningless.
True.
Second, if you want to go into medicine, you have to have that caring, nurturing attitude within you. You need to go out of your way. You need to sacrifice your relaxation time.
Got it.
You can't say I want to play cricket, so I'm not going to come and give the operation to somebody else.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
And if you are a very creative person, आपको बांध देंगे कि भाई एक particular profession में मतलब CA बनो आप.
Right.
तो आप नहीं बैठ पाओगे, आपकी क्रिएटिविटी बाहर आएगी.
12
For me,
घंटा
I'm a
बैठ के
very
पढ़ ही नहीं
creative person. हाँ, I'm a very creative person. So I cannot be put and defined by rules and regulations.
Right.
तो मुझे अपना freedom चाहिए. ये बहुत देर से समझ में आया. But then I came out of it. Right? नहीं तो you get depressed by doing the same thing, even if you have high package. Like I have a client who came to me who's joined my professional development training program. He is an associate vice president with one of the MNCs.
Okay.
And at that stage, he is realizing that he doesn't want to be in that company unless he's given a promotion.
So I would just like to clear, associate vice president का position students को समझा देता हूँ क्या है. It is just 2 positions below MD, vice president and then associate. तो मतलब 2 level और ऊपर he would be managing director of the company. So that's a very high position there.
तो ये एज पे, ये पोजीशन पे आने पे, ये एज पे आने के बाद में उनको रियलाइजेशन हुआ कि दिस इज नॉट व्हाट आई वांट टू डू. ही वांट्स टू हैव अ स्टार्टअप ऑफ हिज ओन. व्हाई? बिकॉज ही इज सच अ स्मार्ट पर्सन दैट उसने अपना जो एटीएम का जो स्लिप होता है ना, एटीएम स्लिप ना पहले बड़ा आता था, लंबा आता था. फिर उसने बोला ये इतना लंबा आ रहा है, अगर उसका 2 इंच कम करेगा तो डेटा उसमें फिल होगा कि नहीं. फिर उसने एक्सपेरिमेंट किया, तो उसने वो 2 इंच कम किया. उसमें उसने कंपनी को 1 साल में 25 मिलियन रुपीस का फायदा कराया.
2.5.
So just imagine the amount of innovation that he has.
Just by saving paper, the receipt which is printed.
Exactly. So this person has got too many ideas, and the company has become smaller for him now.
Got it.
So it's time to take the giant leap.
He wants to expand outside now.
Exactly, because उसकी सभी talents जो है ना utilize नहीं हो रहा है. Then there is a frustration that creeps in. So now, you know, when you come to such a level, money doesn't lure you any longer.
Exactly.
Freedom,
that
balance
happened,
in family life
actually,
and career.
Right. So that actually happened with you, I guess, because after your teaching career, after being vice principal in the school, you would have easily become the principal if you would have stayed. But you decided to go with your counseling and seminar wala career path. Management started.
Yeah, because I realized very honestly that this trap of, you know, awards, position, recognition is not something that I want.
Right.
What I want is to see the transformations. When Amit Patil tells me that, ma'am, आपने जो नुस्खे दिए उससे मैं इंजीनियरिंग किया और मैं यहाँ पे पास हुआ, मेरे बच्चों को सिखा रही हूँ, that's my award. That's my award. And let me tell you, audience, this guy is too good. He's too grounded. He's so humble and extremely intelligent. आप इनसे जितना सीखना चाहे ना, उतना आप सीख लो. Because मैंने ना लोगों से बहुत सीखा है, more than books and other things.
Yes.
From people and from experiences. तो ये बंदे में ना बहुत दम है. आप उससे जितना सीखने को मिलेगा उतना सीख लो. All your students, I would say, you are really blessed to have Amit Patil as your teacher.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I'm blessed to have you.
My pleasure.
Yes. मैम के सेशंस बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग होते थे 10th में साइंस के क्लास. So yeah, I miss those days. क्लास होता था and आपके क्लास
I miss students like you.
Because आपके क्लास में हम शांत नहीं बैठते थे. There was discussion from both ends. Like it was your class where students used to answer. I remember.
Yeah. And I would love the interaction, because अगर interaction नहीं होता ना तो मुझे कुछ लगता था कि कुछ कमी है.
Correct.
Because communication is always 2 ways, you know. And I learned a lot from you all as well.
Because I remember
सोच रही थी ये बंदा इतना कैसे पढ़ाई कर लेता है, इतने घंटे कैसे पढ़ने को बैठता है.
No, because I remember from school time ना, हमारे क्लास में अगर बीजी मिस की क्लास चालू है and there is some other class going besides, दूसरे बगल के क्लासरूम में. So what used to happen is मिस इंटरैक्टिव बना देती थी और बच्चों में एनर्जी होती थी, तो students used to shout above their throat to answer, मिस ये आंसर होगा, and that used to create noise in the class. तो बाजू की टीचर आके बोलती थी बीजी मिस शांत करो. I remember
but
that.
I never believed in the concept of fold your hands and sit straight.
Exactly.
नहीं होता यार, नहीं होता. Because मुझे भी कोई बोलेगा fold your hands and sit straight, I would not like it. So I understood that aspect.
Right. So that was very interesting. Ma'am, I would also like to add here कि management me के बारे में आप थोड़ा बताओ, and what are your plans with management me? Will you just stick to counseling, career consulting, etc. और भी कुछ आगे कुछ special है?
आगे बहुत कुछ स्पेशल है. Management me was born in 2007 after I was taking a nap in the afternoon, and I created this logo that you can see behind me. Management just
for a
helped me
lifetime.
to, yeah, management me insights for a lifetime, because I somehow got the insight that I'm not doing my best as a teacher, because by definition it is not just explaining to you the concepts in the textbook, but I also need to help you to develop your character. So that part triggered me, and I somehow felt inadequate for the same. And then I upgraded myself, started learning more, understanding what are your issues, what are your problems, and how we can deal with it better. That's how I decided to start my company, which is Management Me Insights for a Lifetime. 2009 it formally started.
Okay.
And my mission is to inspire 1 billion plus people to transform to their best version. And our philosophy is our thoughts shape our future. So I believe that we create everything that is in our reality. Then my tagline is I win when you win. So जब आप जीतते हैं तो मेरी जीत होती है. So it's like co-elevating one another. We are into coaching, we are into counseling, we are into training. So I do take corporate trainings. I do mentoring for students as well as adults, and I do counseling to deal with individual issues.
Got it.
So these are the things that I do. So we are going to be a 39 crore company as of now.
Oh, that's a huge
my
number.
Vision. Just hold on.
Yes.
Just hold on a minute. I'll just get the things that I.
Yes. Ma'am, your mic is on mute, I guess.
Yeah. I do believe in manifestation and creative visualization, which is very powerful. So we did a ritual on 22nd of February 2022, which is considered to be very auspicious. And this is my target. 14 companies.
Okay.
For this year, short-term goal.
Okay.
Helping to develop 14 companies. I'm going to reach out to 14 companies, to do the trainings. Amazing. to enhance the human connect in companies.
Got it.
And these are the, I want or wish to have 300 employees.
Oh, that's nice.
I want to do a training which will get me at least 2.22 lakh per day.
My God.
It's happening. It's happening.
Yes, ma'am. Mercedes कब आएगी? Mercedes कब आएगी?
मेरे दिमाग में Mercedes and BMW दोनों घूमते हैं. So I don't know why I get both the visuals. Let's hope.
Yes.
So this is it. 36 crores.
Okay.
And yes, best relations.
Yes.
आपको उल्टा दिख रहा होगा ना?
नहीं, it's clear.
उल्टा दिख रहा है?
Proper दिख रहा है. No issues.
Yeah. And this has the energies of US again, because these shells are brought from there.
Oh,
and a few from here as well. Okay. So there is a way in which you collect the energies of positive places, and when you keep it with you, those energies are with you. So manifestation happens faster.
True. Ma'am, over here I would like to ask, actually at the end, we are at the end of the session almost. I was about to ask which books would you recommend to students, but now my question has changed, because as you said, it's better to learn from people by observing them, by getting to know their experiences. What is the most important thing that you learned last year in 2021 by someone else's experience?
from someone else's experience.
Right.
I would say the ability to let go as a parent.
True.
So sometimes what happens, we want children to be like this. What we say, if they do, it will be best. But the realization that they have their own thought processes, they have their own goals, which may not be aligned with what we have.
True.
So how do you let go? Being a mother, being an educationist, and
Right.
just being an observer to the transformation in your children.
Got it.
It's a very hard,
We will
difficult
also in future now, I'll
lesson.
also keep a session or this kind of podcast or webinar with you about parenting, because that is a big topic, especially for
Yes.
from Indian context, right? Because parenting
From Indian context, yeah, and I am really my empathies to the parents, because I can understand they are totally confused, especially
Right.
with teenagers.
Right.
Because
True.
when you treat them like children, they want to be like adults. When you treat them like adults, they want
They
to be
want
like
to be like
children.
children.
So there's a total confusion. So parents are like confused, like how do we behave? How do we react to them?
Very true.
So the communication between parents and children have reduced to a considerable extent, where I find myself as a coordinator or a mediator between the parent and the child.
Got it. Got it.
So my purpose is also to improve the human connect in families.
True. So management, me and your ideas will surely make that happen, ma'am. It was a great session. Thank you for your time. Actually, मैंने 30 minutes का ही बोला था, 1 घंटा हो गया, पता ही नहीं चला. I hope you are free.
Yes, I kept myself free for you since you had told.
Actually,
so I like to give my entire focus.
Yes, thank you so much. नहीं, मुझे डर क्या है कि हमने फोन साइलेंट किए थे तो मुझे पता नहीं आपके फोन कितनी बार बजे.
मुझे नहीं पता.
Okay. Yeah.
And I must thank you, Amit. Students like you and many other students, they are the reason for the strength that I have, the happiness that I have, and that courage, to keep going. Because जब भी मैं सोचती हूँ कि बस हो गया, अभी थोड़ा relax करेंगे, then one child comes and says, "Ma'am, ये करोगे, ma'am वो करोगे, मुझे ये याद आया, मुझे वो याद आया." So you are the wind beneath my wings, and
Thank
I'm
you. Thank
really
you so
grateful.
much. Thank you so much, ma'am. You made me capable.
No, I just मतलब क्या है ना, सब था तेरे अंदर, मैंने सिर्फ उसको open किया, that's all.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I just facilitated the change. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am. All the best for management me, and
Yes.
we'll do many more such sessions. Yes, surely.
Sure. I really enjoyed it.
Yes.
Thank you.
One more thing before I end. जितने भी लोग अगर ये वीडियो देख रहे हैं, make sure बीजी मिस के चैनल पे जाके आप सब्सक्राइब करो. So if you search बीजी तुषार, you will find it there on YouTube. Otherwise आप डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में चेक कर लो. डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में मैं एक लिंक शेयर कर दूंगा मिस के चैनल का. वहाँ पे जाके आप सब्सक्राइब कर सकते हो. एंड इन केस आपको काउंसलिंग चाहिए या यू वांट टू गो थ्रू सच सेशंस विद मिस, आप कनेक्ट करो मिस के साथ. मिस आई विल शेयर योर कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर और
Sure.
yes,
Sure you can.
yes, okay, fine, I'll do that. Chalo, thank you so much everyone.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye.